Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Survival Let's Play. So I just wanted to start off today's episode by apologising for the delay between episodes. I think the last one I uploaded was about 2 or 3 months ago now. And I mentioned in that video that I was going on holiday, so I went on holiday and then I got back. And then I was busy with some things. And then I ended up going away from home again for a few more weeks. And then I got back again. And then I've just been busy. I'm moving house soon, so I've been kind of preparing for that and sorting through all of my things. And then I've actually got ill as well. You might be able to hear it in my voice a little bit. I don't really feel too well at the moment. So there's quite a few reasons why, but I've just not been able to upload for quite a while. But I am hoping that I can upload this video and then get back into a routine of uploading this series every week or two. I have a lot of plans for this world still, and I just want to get on with them. I have been coming onto the world and making some progress on some of my projects, like my witch farm over there. I've been doing some more digging on that. I've been working on my wither skeleton farm in the nether. But these are projects that you're not going to see until they're finished, so I'm not going to do progress updates on them. You'll see a video getting uploaded once they're actually finished. But one thing I do want to show is that I added a few more items to the checklist over here. So these are where I keep all of the different enchanted books, and I've gone ahead and I've collected the rest of them. So basically what I was doing is getting a villager, taking him away, and then just breaking a lectern and then placing it again until I got the book trades that I needed. I'm not going to show every single one that I got because it was quite a slow and painful process, but I do want to show the final one that I got, which was the respiration one. So you can see here that I was breaking the lectern and placing it. And I only had to do this 6 times, and it gave me the enchantment that I needed, which was Respiration 1. That was the last book that I needed to complete the chest. And I was just surprised it only took me 6 attempts. Usually if you need a specific book, you can break the lectern and place it for like an hour and still not get that enchantment. So I just thought it was extremely lucky that I managed to get it so quickly. But anyway, on to today's episode. What I want to do is build 3 farms over in the farming district. So I've got 3 farms in mind, and all of them are kind of small or medium projects. None of them should take too long. And the first one I want to do is related to this chest over here. So the random blocks, if I open this up, you can see that every single item is stacked up to 64, apart from this one right here. So I want to build a farm for the snow. If I go over here, actually, you can see that I do have the snow, so I could just go ahead and check it off the checklist right now. But the way I like to do this series is I like to build farms for all of the farms that can be farmed. And of course, snow is one of the items that can be farmed, so that's what I'm going to be doing first. So I'm just going to get some items together. I think I've got quite a nice idea in mind. And then I'm going to head over to the farming district. So the farming district is getting quite full these days, so there's not really too much space to build new projects around the outside. There's still quite a lot of space in the middle, but there is projects underneath the ground that I've got to be aware of. And this project is also going to go underneath the ground. I've decided I'm going to build it around here somewhere. I don't think there's anything underneath here that I'm going to bump into, but there's quite a few projects underground over that direction. So I'm going to try and build it over here. And I've got most of the materials together. The plan is basically to build an ice cave. So there's going to be an entrance to a cave, then it's going to go underground. So I've got mostly like ice and diorite, calcite, and then some snow. I'm probably going to need to go back to the base and get a bunch more materials. But this is what I'm going to use just to start it off over here. I've had a change of plan here. I was going to make the cave like I said. And I've had this idea for a long time now. But I was going to use a lot of snow layers for this design to get all of the right shapes and stuff. And the snow layers actually melt in this biome. It's just something I didn't think about. So I'm not going to be able to make the cave like I wanted to do. So instead I've come down to this farming bunker that I built a while ago now. I've already got a few little farms in here. And I just went ahead and I built a simple snow farm over here. So there's not really too much that needs explaining. There's about 10 snowmen in there. I don't really know if it makes a difference if you've got more, or I could probably just have one in there and it would do the same job. But yeah, I just stand here and I can break the snow layers and I get plenty of snow. It's not really a farm I'm going to use too often, but if I ever need snow for whatever reason, I can just come here and collect as much as I want. So the first idea with the cave was going to be a lot better than this, but it would be the same kind of farm. It still works the same, I just thought that the other one would look a lot better. So I went ahead and added the snow blocks to the chest here. So that's a full stack of them and a full stack of every other item. So I went ahead and I turned the lamps on, and I think that's 22 chests that are completed now. So there's still a few more chests to go here, and then I can start working on the end chests, which are the more difficult ones. And if you're wondering why I didn't add the snowballs or the snow layers, that's just because they're already in this chest over here, and that's already completed. But I did realise that the snowball is huge in my hand. There's a few glitched items at the moment. I don't know if it's just my texture pack or not, but some items are just huge on Bedrock Edition for some reason. It's been like this for a while now. But yeah, I've just got the world's biggest snowball there. But anyway, that's one farm complete, so I can move on to the next farm that I want to build today. And that is going to be a bamboo farm. So I've been using this one. It's very manual. You've just got to go around, break it with the sword. And I've been storing it in these shulker boxes here. So I've got plenty of this stuff. But now it's useful to craft chests and stuff like that. I'm going to need a lot more of it eventually. So I want to build an automated bamboo farm. So I've got a few designs in mind. I've always wanted to make a bamboo farm with a flying machine, but I've not really worked with flying machines too much, so I'm not sure how that's going to go. But that's my first plan, and if that doesn't go to plan, I'm going to have to use my backup one, which is just an automated one with a few observers and stuff. For the second time out of 2 projects, I've had to have a change of plan again. So this is my creative test world, and I did want to go for a flying machine farm like I mentioned, and I've looked up a few designs and I tried this one. So the idea of the farm is that the bamboo will grow in the middle here, and then the flying machine will activate and it will go from one end to the other. But as you can see, for some reason mine just keeps going back and forth. Sometimes it goes all the way over here somehow, and then a lot of the time it just ends up coming back to this side. If I replace one of these sticky pistons, I think it's this one, with a regular piston, and then it works just fine. So you can see here it just makes its way all of the way over to the other side like it should do. But when it does get to the other side, I will stand on this pressure plate and it's going to break the farm. It's not actually going to make its way over to the other side because both of these have to be sticky pistons. See, I don't really know what the problem is. I copied the YouTube tutorial, I built it the exact same as it was on there. I even read through all of the comments and everyone's saying that it works great, but for some reason it's just not working on my creative test world here. And this is actually the second time I've tried working with a flying machine, and I just couldn't get it to work last time either. So I don't know why, but they just don't seem to work for me. But anyway, I've decided I'm just going to go for a simpler design over here. So I've already built it up. It's pretty simple. It's not too big. So this is just one module of the farm, and I'm going to build 4 or 5 of them in my actual survival world. So I'm going to go and get some stuff together to build this. I went ahead and I built the first 3 of these individual farms. I'm just going to build the 4th one here on camera. It's really simple to build, and I've left these running for about an hour. And this is how much bamboo I've got from one of them. So that's probably 27 to 35 stacks overall from 3 of these farms. So from 4 of these farms it should be about 40 stacks of bamboo per hour. So that's way more than I'm going to need for my single player world here. I'm just going to quickly build this 4th farm right here. So I've already put the rails in place, and this is where the minecart hopper is going to go to pick up all of the items from above. And there's quite a few different ways you can do this, but I've just got 2 hoppers at the end here facing into this double chest. And then I've got some redstone torches on the back of this. So the minecart hopper goes back and forth, and every time it goes over one of these hoppers, it drops off a few items. So next up, I need to put some dirt, or I'm going to use the grass blocks and place them on top of all of the rails. I don't know if Endermen are going to come and grief this and pick these up. If that does happen, I might have to use a different block. I don't know if you can use moss for this farm or not. And next up, I'm just going to go all of the way around the outside with some blocks like this. I'm using the lime green concrete. I just think it fits in with the bamboo theme. So I'm going to do this all of the way around the outside. And then I'm going to get some pistons and then place them all of the way around the outside like this on this side here. And then the same on the opposite side. And then I can raise these 2 shorter sides up by 1 more block. And then I'm going to get some stone bricks here. You're not going to see this in the final design, so I'm just going to use some stone bricks and place these behind all of the pistons. And then when I get to the end, I can place some redstone dust on top of all of these blocks. And then of course, I'm going to do the same behind these pistons here. Next up is the observers, so I'm going to stand back here and place it on top of this first piston, leave a gap, and then place one again, and keep leaving a gap. And if I do this right, it should go all of the way to the end right here. And I'm going to place these green frog lights in between all of these observers. This is just to give the light a little bit of farm so it runs all day and all night. I think bamboo needs light to grow, so without these, it would only work through the day. And that's basically the farm complete. I just need to decorate the top of this. So I'm going to put some green concrete or lime green concrete around here. And then I'm going to get some glass and cover the top of it over. So I've got some lime green glass as well. And I'm just going to fill all of this in. And I'm going for a little bit of a pattern here with some lime green terracotta and then some lights underneath the glass. But you don't really need to decorate this. You could always just do it underground so you can't see it at all. But I just thought I'd do it on the surface and then try to decorate it a little bit. So that's basically the farm complete now. I just need to head inside to plant the bamboo. So I need to make sure to place one on every single one of these blocks in here. And of course the final thing to do is to place the minecart hopper so the items actually get collected. So that is all 4 of these farms up and running now. And what I want to do is make a storage room so all of the items are getting stored in the same place. And I need an entrance to that, so I'm going to have to do that up here somewhere. I think the best place to do it is probably on this side where there's some space. So I need to decide what I want the entrance to look like, and then I'll probably just have some ladders heading down to a storage room underground. So I decided to build a panda head. I thought it just fit the theme well of this area, like I've got the chicken for the chicken farm, the sheep head for the sheep farm, the bees for the bee farm, you know, you get the idea. So for a bamboo farm, I thought a panda head just made sense. It wasn't my original plan, but it's the one I decided to go for. And then inside, I've just got a little storage room. So there wasn't really too much room in here to work with, so I didn't decorate it too much or anything like that. And then I've actually got the storage in shulker boxes. So if I just head down below, all of the items go to this side now. And then they go into the shulker box loader down here. And then once the shulker box is full of bamboo, it gets broken and sent up to the storage room, and it's replaced with another one that should be in these hoppers here. So I've stocked this up with quite a few, but because bamboo grows fast, it's going to burn through all of these shulker boxes in no time. And I thought that I built something wrong because I was having an issue where some of the shulker boxes, like this one, were coming through before they are full of bamboo. You can see this one's only got 1 stack of 31. All of the others are completely full with 22 stacks. So the problem is that when I leave the chunks and then come back, or if I leave the game and then rejoin, it kind of causes an issue with the shulker box loader, and the shulker box just gets broken no matter if it's full or if it's half full or only got a stack or 2 in. So every time I leave the chunks and come back, I need to take the shulker box out that's not full, and then I'll just go and put the bamboo back through the system. And the plan is when the 1.21 update comes out, I should have pretty much all of these chests full of shulker boxes full of bamboo. And then I'm going to set up an auto crafter down below, and then I'm going to start saving the bamboo blocks, or the blocks of bamboo instead. So it's all going to be converted into these blocks, and then it will be stored in shulker boxes in this side of chests. But anyway, I don't really know if anyone remembers this, but when I set up this area, I marked it out perfectly so it's inside of a map. So here is the up-to-date map. You can see all of the different farms. There's still quite a lot of green space in the middle and towards the bottom middle. I need to fill that with some farms and some buildings and stuff. And then once I've filled in most of the space with farms, I want to start adding some pathways between them. And then I'll probably add some hidden lighting, some lampposts and stuff like that, just to keep the area nice and bright, to stop mobs spawning on the night time, because at the moment it's quite dangerous around here on a night. But yeah, this is the up-to-date map, just in case anyone's interested to see what it looks like these days. Okay, so with the bamboo farm complete, I've come over here again to the checklist room, and I've added all of the different bamboo blocks and items to the chest here. Obviously signs only stack up to 16, so I've got 16 of them. The rafts don't stack, and then everything else is stacked up to 64. And I'm looking at this chest, and everything else in this chest is pretty easy to collect. So I think I'm probably going to collect this at the start of the next episode, and then we can complete the chest and turn the lights on. And moving on to the third and final farm that I want to build in today's episode, I want to build an amethyst farm. So of course I've come over here to a geode. So I guess the first thing I need to do is just start clearing out some of the blocks in here. And I need to be careful not to break any of these. I always forget what they're called, but these are the only blocks that the amethyst can grow on top of. So I need to make sure not to break any of these blocks. Okay, so I've finished digging around all of these blocks here. I think I broke one of these, which isn't great, but it's not the end of the world. I've still got plenty of these here. And I left a 3-block gap in between the last block and then the wall. So that's the same on all of the sides. And then the roof, and then I've gone 3 blocks below the bottom one as well. So there's plenty of room to work around the outside here. But the problem with these amethyst farms is that the amethysts actually grow very slowly. It takes a long time for these to grow. And obviously they can only grow on these blocks. So there's not too many spaces here where they can actually generate. So to make this farm as efficient as possible, I actually found this area here. So this is just a copy of my survival world, it's not my actual survival world. But you can see that I found this area where there's one geode here, and then there's another one just over there right next to it. I've also cleared out the space over there. And then if I turn around, there's 2 more pretty close by as well. So one up here, and then one down here. And I found a spot which is just over here, where the spruce plank is. So if I stand in that AFK spot, all of the amethysts are going to be in render distance, and that means that all of the amethyst things are going to be growing. I just need to be in the area over here. So instead of only getting the amethyst growing from one geode, I'm going to have 4 of them. So it's going to be 4 times as efficient. So the plan is to set up a way to farm these. I've got an idea in mind. It's going to be a very manual design. And then all of the amethysts are going to drop into some water streams, and then they're going to come over to the AFK spot. And there'll be some storage over here for all of the buds and the amethyst shards and everything else. Okay, so now that I've got all of the space cleared out around all of these budding blocks, I think they're called, I can actually get to work on the farms. So these are going to be some very low-tech farms. It's very manual. I know you can make automated ones, but I think they're actually less efficient because you can't use the fortune-free enchantment on the crystals themselves. So yeah, I'm just going to get straight to work on this. And the blocks I'm going to be using is blackstone, and then I want to use some of the calcite as well. So I'm going to start off just by randomizing some blackstone in the floor. So I'm using the regular blackstone, some cracked blackstone bricks, and then some of the regular blackstone bricks as well. So that's the floor in place, and now I can place a calcite around the outside. So the calcite's going to be here as kind of a ledge, so I can stand on here and then get all of the crystals. So there's going to be one on the bottom row here, and then I'm going to count up by 3 blocks and then place another one like this. So that's going to be another platform, and then 3 blocks above that there's going to be another one as well. So it's going to look something like this. So the idea is that I can reach all of these crystals by either standing on the calcite, on one of the layers of the calcite. So I can go around the outside and I can reach the crystals like this. Or I can jump onto one of them like this here, and then I can reach all of the other ones which I couldn't reach before. So that's how simple the farm is going to be. So now I've just got to finish decorating the walls, and I think I want to use some of these purple frog lights. So I forgot what these are called, the pearlescent frog lights. So I'm just going to place some in the walls, so we'll go 2 away from there, and then we'll do the same on the other side. And then whatever the middle is, we will put one there. So I think this is the middle. And we'll put one like this. So we'll be doing that on all of the walls, on all of the layers. And then I think I'm just going to fill in between with blackstone. So this is how it looks once I've got all of the walls in place. And I've set up some ladders on the sides over here just so I can get up to the top layer and then down to the bottom layer as well. So it's just easier than using rockets to get up and down. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out so far. And the only thing left to do is the water systems at the bottom. So I'm just going to set up a temporary chest over here. So we'll dig down by a few blocks and place a chest. And then I can just run some hoppers all of the way down the middle into that. And then the final step is just to place some water on both sides. So all of the items are going to get pushed into the middle and go into the hoppers. And I don't know why there's a little texture glitch or something here with that water. That's a little bit annoying actually. I don't know how to get rid of that, but I'll try to get rid of that. It's a little bit annoying. So to use the farm, I've just got to go around the outside on the calcite and break all of these. So if I use the fortune free pickaxe, I get the shards, or I can use a silk touch and then I get the actual crystals instead. So for right now, I'm just going to be using the fortune free. Okay, from one harvest, I managed to get 10 stacks and 20 amethyst shards. And this is only from one farm. If I'm going to have 4 of these, that's going to be more efficient than I need. I don't really build with these too often. I believe you can actually turn these into the blocks as well, so I can build with these now if I want to. But yeah, it's definitely going to be efficient enough for what I need. Speaking of having 4 farms, I actually went ahead and I finished the other 3. So the plan is for this to be the center room. This is where the storage room is going to be. So all of the items are going to flow into some chests over here, I think. And then I've got these tunnels on each side. So you can see one of the farms there. And then there's another one down there. And then if I go over to the other side, the one that I just built on camera, or built some of it on camera, is over here. And then there's one more up there as well. So these are the 4 farms. And what I want to do is make these tunnels kind of natural. So that's kind of why I went for a natural shape with these. So I don't know exactly what blocks I'm going to use, but I kind of want to make them look like natural caves. So I've never been the best at making things in Minecraft look natural, but I started off by replacing all of the deep slate in the walls with some stone, and then I started adding some stairs and some slabs to try and get the shape that I wanted. And once I got a shape that I was kind of happy with, I started adding in some textures. So I started off with some cobblestone and some mossy cobblestone, and then I added in some gravel into the floor and some andesite into the walls. And for some final bits of texture, I added in some moss. And then just to flex my wealth a little bit, I added some regular diamond ore. And then I just wanted to add some more greenery to go with the moss. So I added some ferns, some glow lichen and some glowberries. And then finally, to finish it off, I added some amethyst buds or some amethyst clusters. So it is an amethyst farm, so it just makes sense to have some of these in the decorations. And this is the finished project. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I'm not usually the best at doing these organic kind of builds. I always kind of struggle with them, but I think I did okay with this one here. The hardest part was getting the correct shape of all of the caves going to all of the different farms. And this one was definitely the hardest one here. So this one's quite steep, so I had to come out to the side and then curve it back around. It doesn't look the best, but this was a kind of a challenging shape to get right. But I am pretty happy with how it all turned out overall. Now all of the items are dropped into the water streams and then they come all the way to here to a little storage cell. So I've got plenty of the amethyst shards, and then I always forget what these are called. So there's clusters and then the large, medium and small amethyst buds. It's probably not a farm I'm going to use too often, but at least now I can get plenty of the amethyst shards in case I ever want to build with the amethyst blocks. And of course, now that I've got the farm for these items, I can come over here to the checklist room. It's actually the 1.17 and 18 chest. You can see that I added all of the new items that I can get from the farm. So that's another 6 items added. And there's not really too much more to go in this chest. There's some pointed dripstone and the lightning rods. I think that's it. So I can get these items pretty easily, but as I mentioned earlier, I do want to try and build farms for every item before I add them to the checklist. So I'll probably build a copper farm and a pointed dripstone farm at some point. But anyway, that is where I'm going to be ending today's episode. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing in the next one, but at some point soon I do want to work on the base a little bit more. It's been a while since I've done any work up here on the village, so that's going to be coming pretty soon. And hopefully the next episode doesn't take me too long to release. So yeah, whatever I decide to do, I hope everyone enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.